Larson. Another McLeod back with him. Lower flick. That's the third. Well taken by Bonner. Played back in and under the crossbar. Touched in by Tammy Fraser. But it was Dave McKinnon's header initially. So it's Celtic again, coming more into the match. Mo Johnston taking on McPherson. McLeod! McLeod makes it 4 apiece. The Rangers supporters are stunned, and that came right out of the blue. Set up by Mo Johnston, playing it square into the path of McLeod, and there is a Murdo McLeod special to tie the scores at 4 apiece. Well, if ever that justified the reorganisation of the Celtic ranks to put McLeod back into central midfield, that was the goal which made all the difference. Trainee gathering the ball well there, holding off Heagle. Collins against Greiner. And corner kick it is to Celtic. Well, teams always looking for some joy from corner kicks these days. There's a crowd on the near post. Ildner comes to meet it. Here's Grant again. Opening it out to the left for Boyd. Chance it on this time! It's a magnificent finish from Paul McStay, and Celtic are right back in the tie. Well, a stunning finish here from Paul McStay, as Boyd sent the ball in, a very good aerial challenge. The ball broke there to Paul McStay's left foot, and that thundering volley left Ildner without a chance. Well, the aerial power made a big difference inside the area there. Mowbray, the thing of it. It broke the left foot of Paul McStay, and it's the perfect boost for Celtic after 36 minutes. There's Galloway. Using McStay as a decoy inside. Good running up front by Payton. Kept in well by Boyd. Payton has to stay off the field. Here's John Collins. The deflection! It's a goal for Celtic! Jerry Creaney has scored a second. And now the match swings Celtic's way completely. Creaney got the vital touch from the pile driver from Collins. Good play there by Boyd, playing it in. Controlled initially and laid back there to Collins. And there was a touch by Creaney, which left Ildner helpless. For 2 and 3 minutes from Celtic. And now the tie is on level terms. Good play by Collins. He's made it! It's a superb finish from John Collins, and the Celtic fans are delirious. Well, how about this for real confidence and ability, and a little bit of cheek as well, taking on Jan Jensen on the outside, stretching in there for the toe poke, and stabbed the ball beyond Ildner. Great control from Tom Boyd's throw, going up to Jensen. We expect him to go inside. That's a superb finish. And John Collins may well have scored the winner for Celtic. Up goes Mowbray, beaten by Jensen. And the final whistle goes. Celtic have qualified. It's been an outstanding performance, and John Collins accepts the congratulations of his teammates for a splendid goal. from the end. The goal which Celtic richly deserved on the night. After a difficult, slow start in the opening half hour, they were inspired by Paul McStay's opener in 36 minutes, lifted further by Terry Crenny in 39, and then Collins produced that little bit of magic at the end. It's a momentous victory for Celtic, which does their standing in Scotland and in Europe immense good.
A push by Arveladze on Lambert, and a free kick against the former Ajax striker. So Martin O'Neill has made his first change. Maloney for Moravcik. Petrov's free kick whipped in. Balde, here's a chance, and yes, Valharan scores for Celtic. Martin O'Neill punches the air. Celtic are ahead.
Oh, they certainly are. Fabulous delivery, real presence. It's unfortunate it comes off Balde, but it was there, and Valharan's following in. He's the one that believes he can get on the end of it. Lovely ball in. Balde's presence, it comes off the side of his head, actually, across the face of the goal, and it's an easy finish for Valharan.
Brilliant pass from Lennon to Larsson. Was that a push from Bert Konteman? Yes, it was. Penalty kick. And this could be the moment that the title slips out of Rangers' grasp.
It's that touch there that kills Konteman. Konteman comes across to try and protect it.
Should Stuart Dougal be reaching in his pocket? Was that a goal-scoring opportunity denied by Bert Konteman? That's another question. But what is in no doubt is that it's a penalty kick. Still, the debate goes on. A yellow card shown to the Rangers captain Barry Ferguson for his protests, but no card shown to Bert Konteman. And now the chance for Henrik Larsson to make it 2. Henrik Larsson's 8th Old Firm goal, his 14th of the season. Celtic 2 goals in front.
Yeah, there's no doubt where this one's going. Beautifully struck away. Klose doesn't even move an inch.
Well, it's all go, isn't it? Konteman was off, and then he was on. And Michael Ball definitely was off, and he wasn't on, according to Dick Advocat. But here's a chance for Rangers. And Peter Lovenkrantz pulls a goal back.
Yeah, good ball from De Boer, lovely weighted pass. Caniggia's been threatening this for about the last 5 minutes. Lovely ball across, and Lovenkrantz is the first one to react.
Venegor of Hesselink with a nice touch for Samaras. Scott Brown made a good run forward for him in a central position. Samaras tries to bulldoze his way through. Kerr tries to shepherd it back to the goalkeeper. They made a mess of it. It's Venegor of Hesselink, and Aberdeen, architects of their own downfall. They had numerous chances to get this clear. Kerr and Foster ended up running into each other, and it was intelligently played by Scott Brown, back for Jan Venegor of Hesselink. Diamond amongst those forward, and it is Sander Diamond, headed away. It was Crozas that did well to flick it clear, and as it comes back in, it's put wide by Miller. Wouldn't have counted. The offside flag was up, but this was easily Aberdeen's best moment of the game. Just a brief hiatus here. Aberdeen's Scott Severin receiving a little bit of treatment. Charlie Mulgrew comes on for Aberdeen as Severin goes off. Here's Mackie. Nice turn for Hodgkiss. Good ball in as well. Miller. Mulgrew. 1-1. Charlie Mulgrew back at the club where he started his career without being able to make an impression, but he's made a big impression against them today. All of a sudden, Celtic switched off at the back, and there was so much time for Mulgrew. Hodgkiss. And a push by Lovens, and a free kick to Aberdeen. That's clever play by Lee Miller. Stood his ground. They've scored once today already. Can he score a second? Not a bad attempt. It's a brilliant attempt. Mulgrew has scored twice, and Aberdeen have come from behind to lead at Celtic Park. A quite sublime free kick from the man Celtic let go as a teenager. Celtic committing bodies forward, stunned by Aberdeen's second half fight back. In it comes from Nakamura. Goalkeeper came out, and the header was a really poor one. Lovens knows he should have equalised. Jan Vennegoor Hesselink. No foul. It was Mayer with the challenge. Nakamura. McGeady. And it's bypassed everybody except for Scott McDonald. 2-2. Lloyd White to McGeady. And the two substitutes combine. McDonald's first goal at Celtic Park this season. Foster dives in. And may wish that he hadn't. 4 against 4. Celtic bring the bodies forward. McGeady's ball in. Vennegoor Hesselink. Oh, what a goal! A magnificent finish. Jan Vennegoor Hesselink, instinctively from an impossible angle, has won it for Celtic in stoppage time.
Scott Brown files it down towards Forrest and tries to knock it inside. Christie gets his body in front of Lucas. He's fouled. The referee waves advantage. Bolingoli's in space, the ball rolled out wide by McGregor, he goes for the return. Bolingoli cuts inside, tries to knock it through to Edward. Thought about the shot, again he's crowded out. Still Celtic into the area, but Lazio do well defensively. Christie, oh, it's just wide of the left hand post, a snapshot out of nothing. Well, he knows how close he was. Lazio breathed a sigh of relief.
Yeah, fantastic strike, and for a minute I thought we were going to see the net bulging here.
Bolingoli towards Edward, holds off his man, tries to knock it through. It's Elyounoussi on his right foot, takes a shot, is blocked by Bastos again. He's thrown himself in front of everything. McGregor now to Christie. Christie takes a shot, and again Lazio just defensively making sure that they are blocking the route to goal. And here they come on the counter attack. Correa, Lazzari into the box. It's a chance for the Italian side, and it's blasted by Lazzari into the back of the net. And with 39 minutes on the clock, that's their first real opportunity, and Lazzari has given the visitors the lead.
And he's taken it well. Been watching him on this right hand side, he's full of pace. They break quickly there, block here on the edge of their box with the Christie shot. And look where he goes from there, he keeps moving, he's through the gears. And he's just smashed that in at the near post.
Not forward through the middle for Odsonne Edouard, and again a challenge there by Vavro. Some Celtic fans hoping for a foul, but it was a perfect challenge there from the Slovakian defender, and suddenly Carollo's through on goal. This is a chance, and he's put it off the post. Well, he slid it under the body of Fraser Foster, and the post comes to Celtic's rescue. Celtic on the attack. Forrest back to McGregor, 25 yards from goal. Across now to Odsonne Edouard. Can he fashion an opportunities into the box? Puts it back to Christie. And Christie has scored! He clips it beyond the goalkeeper. And Celtic are back in level terms. Wonderful goal from Ryan Christie. It's his 12th of the season. Paradise erupts.
Great play from Edward. Picks it up off McGregor at the edge of the box. See it here, McGregor gives it into Edward, round about the box, so dangerous.
I'm thinking, is he going to go for the shot? But he picks out Christie and he just sweeps it into the back of the net first time. Great goal. Lazio have every player back defending this corner. They know a goal now for Celtic and they'll have lost the game. It's Ryan Christie, delivers it, left-footed. Could a Celtic head? It's a goal! And it's a goal for Celtic! Christopher Jullien has won the game for Neil Lennon's side. What a goal! What a header! Perfect delivery, perfect finish. Christie with a cross. Jullien, the header. Well, we spoke about it before, Simon. Do you put people on the post? Lazio didn't. The ball ends up in the back of the net, and Christopher Jullien could be the hero that's given Celtic all 3 points tonight.
To the king when he was a boss at Celtic Park. He taught them how to play football. He made the greatest of them all. And Gallagher and Cohen had left their mark. And they gave us James McRory and Paul McStay.
Glasgow in the West has been getting rained on constantly for the last 24 hours, but that won't deter Brendan Rodgers and his team as they prepare for the visit of St Mirren. A couple of points dropped to Easter Road means the boys are now 5 points clear at the top of the table. The aim is to at least remain there by the time everyone heads home. This is game 11 of the Premiership season, and it's so far so good.
To Abada, he's in Kyogo in the middle, plays it across towards Kyogo! And of course, he shoots, he scores! Chance for O'Reilly, can he make it 4-1 on his weaker right foot? Of course he does!
Here's Yang, good play from Yang, it must be! Matt O'Reilly with the finish! Oh, chance now for Kyogo, right at the death, he's gone for it! And he's buried the ball in the back of the net! Kyogo! Maeda, perhaps a half chance here. Edge of the box, dives in Maeda. Left foot goes for goal. Have Celtic goal! That is unbelievable!
Oh, wonderful skill from Hatate. Still Hatate, a chance! A goal! Well, that's a wonderful goal from Real Hatate.
Here's Matt O'Reilly! What a start! What a season he's having!
So Celtic against St Mirren, the next instalment of the Premiership campaign. Stephen Robinson's side in good form, of course, after a 4-0 win over St Johnstone, sees the Buddies in third place in the league. But they haven't kept a clean sheet at Celtic Park since 1991, so they'll have to defy the record books to keep Kyogo and the rest of the boys at bay. Yes, welcome along to Celtic TV's live coverage of this SPFL Premiership match between Celtic and St Mirren. I'm glad to say it's relatively dry just now, but it will be a very quick pitch for the Celtic and St Mirren teams to play on tonight. We're looking forward to kick-off. It's just about half an hour away. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined in the studio tonight by former Celtic striker Simon Donnelly and current Celtic FC women's manager Fran Alonso. Simon, we sit here quite a lot. I give you the same question every time.
Yeah.
What do you expect to see tonight?
Hopefully a home win, obviously. I think on the back of last week, it was a really intense week with the Champions League game. And I think the boys, they didn't run out of steam, but I don't think they were at their fluent best through Easter Road after being through in Edinburgh at the start of the week. We'll touch on the team in a minute, but it's been refreshed tonight. And they just have to get back to winning ways. You know, it's been a good start to the season. They sit 5 points clear at the top of the table. But I know this group of lads will be frustrated with the result at the weekend. They'll want to win. So they want to put that right tonight.
Fran, I know you're keen to see the men get a win tonight, but your main focus is the women's team. Great end to the season last year, of course. We saw those great celebration scenes at Hampden, having won the Cup against Rangers. But full focus on this season. How have the team been doing so far?
It's been fantastic. Obviously, the memories from last year after a heartbreaking week here in the last game of the season, the mental strength of the players to lift the trophy was amazing. Our second Scottish Cup in a row, incredible. But you know, we are Celtic, we are ambitious. We need to carry on winning, and we need to do our best to try to replicate that this year, or even better it. We have a lot of new players this year. In the summer, we knew we will lose a few players, but others were unexpected, so we have to do a lot of recruitment. But so far, it's been fantastic. We have 11 games played, 30 points, and the team has scored over 50 goals, so it's been incredible. Obviously, we wanted a 100% record, but it's almost impossible in a league like ours. But very, very happy with the girls. And then on top of that, we managed to get our first ever Champions League win, which for me made me so proud. We want to get our name out there in Europe and to get the first win against a team that was a few years ago in the semi-final of the Champions League, like Brøndby. It was incredible.
Well, we'll have a look at some of your players a bit later on and focus on their strengths. Let's have a look at the team lineups for tonight. Simon, a few changes to the Celtic starting 11. Cameron Carter-Vickers doesn't make the squads, and Nat Phillips starts alongside Liam Scales in the centre of defence. We knew that Rio Hatate is going to be out for the short to medium term, so in comes David Turnbull and James Forrest on the wing, preferred to Maeda. Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, just as I say, freshened it up a little bit. I think Carter-Vickers obviously has been so good coming back from his injury. Maybe a little bit of rest for him tonight. As I said earlier on, it was a big week last week, and I think, you know, the team out with Hatate getting injured was the same team more or less right through, so he's decided to change it tonight, the gaffer. James Forrest back in, I think he's looked sharp in the time that he's come on. Unlucky not to score at the weekend. We'll have a look at that in a little while. I think maybe caught it too cleanly. And David Turnbull's back in. You know, he showed some good form at the start of the season, and he's got another opportunity tonight to win.
Likes a goal against St Mirren, does David Turnbull hopefully get another one. St Mirren, Fran, they're a team playing with confidence just now. They've only lost once this season. Stephen Robinson, you can see him there arrive with his team. He's a confident manager, and that confidence spreads around the team, and they've clearly been doing a job for him this season.
Yeah, the numbers are there. They got a game in hand and only 3 points behind the second place. They play a back five. It's a very solid team, well organised, very difficult to beat them. I think it's great that obviously we play at Celtic Park. I think it's great that the surface is a little bit wet, so the ball can circulate fast. And I think it's a great decision to rotate a little bit the team because of the amount of games in the few weeks. Not necessarily only because of the physical fatigue, but the mental fatigue. You need to make good decisions today to be able to break a very solid team.
You mentioned the game against Hibs. I know the manager was frustrated at dropping a couple of points after such a great performance against Atletico Madrid. Was it one of those games, you know, you sometimes see those games where the ball just doesn't drop for you?
Yeah, possibly. Listen, we covered the game, Jerry, at Tynecastle the week before, and it was almost the opposite. You know, we got a goal in the first 3 or 4 minutes, and I thought there was a real spring in the step of the team. I didn't see that early on in this game, but yeah, you do have to take into consideration the game during the week and all the effort they put into it. And you can't just go out every week and steamroller teams, you know. And this was one of the games where we weren't quite at it. We did have chances like James there, as I say. And another day maybe mishits that and it goes in. You know, he caught it quite cleanly, flush off the crossbar. But yeah, it was one of those afternoons which is going to come around now and again. You just have to put it behind you.
I mean, Fran, you mentioned it yourself. It's, getting a 100% record is almost impossible. Brendan Rodgers has been an invincible. He's done it here, but you will get games like that. But when you look at the league table, I was chatting to the manager this week about, a kind of a report card after 10 games. If someone had offered you this, 5 points clear at this stage in the season, then you would be pretty happy at that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, only 10 games played, 5 points clear is great. And for me, the most important thing is, since the beginning of the season, the team is growing, the team is playing better, the team is linking better. You can see especially the two front players, they know every movement, they know every body shape, and that's fantastic. I think if you ask me at the beginning of the season, I will sign this off all day long.
Yeah, so that's where the teams are ahead of tonight's game. Now, an ever-present in the side this season, Greg Taylor is as reliable as they come at left back, but it's his relentless energy and his commitment to the team which has impressed most, and it was his crucial through ball that led to Luis Palma's goal that put us 2-1 up against Atletico Madrid. I had a chat with Greg through the week at Lennoxtown. Greg, just in general, you've been an ever-present this season under the manager. How are you enjoying things?
Yeah, it's been good. Every day trying to improve. We've, as the season's been on, we've gradually got stronger, and I hope that continues throughout to the end.
Has your role changed at all, even in small ways under Brendan?
Maybe a wee bit, but nothing drastic, to be honest. Of course, there's pointers in my game that the manager's pointed out that he wants me to improve on, and also things that he thinks is a real positive. So, no, but in terms of the actual way we're playing, there's not been a big change, no.
Obviously, football's a team game and it's all about the team gelling, but it's important that each individual knows exactly what their role is. How much kind of one-to-one time do you spend on that? And how is the manager with you going to him for clarification or kind of one-to-one feedback?
Yeah, I think the manager has said before he loves trying to improve players, so if someone's asking him a question, he's always very open and willing to help. We do a lot of, certainly myself, I do a lot of work with John Kennedy, whether it's like after games looking back or even prior to a game where he thinks there can be areas that I can exploit. So yeah, I have a really close relationship with John, and yeah, that's pretty much what goes into trying to learn your position.
And down that left-hand side, there's been a number of occasions, most notably or most recently the game against Atletico Madrid, when you're playing that early kind of killer pass into the runner. That time it was Dyson that led to the Luis Palma goal. Is that something that doesn't happen by chance? Is that something that's worked on?
Yeah, that's a pass that I've been trying to perfect for a long time, again with John after training, even if it's 10 balls. Yeah, so I think it's quite, in the Atletico game, it can be quite a killer pass in terms of it can lead to big chances. So certainly more last season, it was probably with Dyson on the left. He's naturally someone that wants to go in behind, so that was probably a wee bit more often. But again, I'm sure as me and Louis' relationship builds, it'll be something that we can bring to the pitch.
A really good record as a club against St Mirren, but one of the toughest teams that I think you've faced in your time here. Stephen Robinson, top manager, got them playing well. They're sitting there just in third place in the league. What will the tasks be in this one? Yeah,
really difficult game, as you touched on there. Stephen's got his team in a real organised way, but with quality as well. They have that attacking threat with two high wing backs who will bomb on as well. So we know it'll be a really difficult game, and all the fixtures last year were really hard games, to be honest. So we know that'll probably be the same tomorrow night.
Greg Taylor, an ever-present, as we've said already. Fran, for me, his energy is incredible as well. He seems to run in the last minute just as if it was the first minute. He's such a fit guy with a great engine. What for you are Greg Taylor's strengths?
One of the main strengths is he knows the back line. He's one of the players that were here last year. We saw an incredible season from him, and I think this year is carrying on into it. This role of inverted fullback that he was doing last year, it really helped Celtic strengths. It gave access pass to Maeda for 1v1s to Fee because he's inside, and also he can, like this against Atletico Madrid, play in behind for a player that is super fast. So I think overall he's been a very important player, and obviously he knows the back line perfectly well.
Yeah, it's good to have someone of his kind of consistent performance and experience at the back, and that he can also be a threat going forward, as we saw there. Talking about going forward, Simon, this season has really all been about the Kyogo and Matt O'Reilly show. It's almost like they're playing two up front now at Celtic. Yes. These guys have been linking so well. I mean, if I can just tell you the stats while we're looking at them linking up. Kyogo's had 14 appearances, 7 goals and 2 assists, which have both been for Matt O'Reilly. Matt O'Reilly's had 14 appearances, 6 goals and 5 assists. 4 of them have been for Kyogo.
Yeah, and the goals are fantastic to watch. We're watching them back here. The 2 in the Champions League are exceptional. I mean, this one's a really special goal. It's a 1-2, which I say is the most potent move in football, but I mean, you have to execute that pass perfectly, and the wee man takes it brilliantly. They almost complement each other really well. Matt O'Reilly's taking his game on a different level. We know Kyogo can finish, but we're now seeing the little guy creating, you know, for his teammate. And it's lovely because that partnership, or the front two, it's regarded as a wee bit unfashionable now in football, you know, with the one solo striker. It's nice to see that relationship between two players at that area on the pitch.
Why don't, just for the supporters, Fran, who seem to hark back to those days of, why don't we play 2 up front? Why does no one do that anymore?
It's about trends in football. You know, a few years ago, you know, everyone played 4-2-3-1. Then a manager, Guardiola, was doing it. His teams were amazing. Everyone tried to replicate it. Then Conte came with a 5 at the back, with 2 at front. Everyone started to do it with 5 at the back. So it's about trends. It's about, you know, you can make a successful team with any formation. But it's true that nowadays you don't see a lot of front two. It's more like 4-2-3-1. I actually read it's the most dominant formation in world football. It depends on the country, it's one or the other, but I think it's more difficult to see than one up front.
Well, Peter Grant is the man who is up in the gantry for us tonight doing co-coms alongside Paul Cuddihy. I hope it's dry where you are, Peter, but just looking ahead to the match, where do you think the main battles on that pitch are going to be?
I definitely think the wide areas, when you're playing against a back 3, which will become a back 5, there's absolutely no doubt of that. I think your 1v1s, and it maybe be a slight change even in the full-back's role for Celtic tonight. We're trying to get 2v1 situations out there as well, instead of being the inverted full-backs. So there's a change that Brendan can maybe adjust to in the team, but also when you're doing that, you've got to have the concentration levels at the back. And that's going to be so important, because you maybe have a lot of the ball. St Mirren will sit off, you'll be very, very well organised. It'll be more of a 5-4-1 more than anything else. So we have to be prepared to make sure that when we get forward, we get the extra bodies in the middle of the pitch. And it's also interesting with David Turnbull playing. We know he can strike from distance, and that may be important tonight. We know he misses a target a few times, but as they say, if you don't shoot, you don't score. And I think David's more than capable of that. And that could be an area that could be something important for us tonight.
An interesting stat this week, Peter, that I saw. A lot of people, I feel personally, take James Forrest for granted. He's been here for so many years. He kind of flies under the radar. And some people say, well, James Forrest, he's lost that yard. He looks as if he's getting a bit past it. But according to the sprint stats here at Celtic Park at Lennoxtown, James Forrest is still the fastest member of the squad at 32. Even faster still than Dyson Maeda.
Well, it's fantastic for James. It tells you the fitness levels and the professionalisms he's got. Don't get me wrong, don't start talking to me about speed. That's the one thing that keep away from me, that's for sure. And Simon will verify that. But I think it's going to be important. The thing I would like to see James doing a little bit more is maybe going and taking on this wing back tonight, because if he pushes him back, that maybe create more space for everyone else in the middle of the pitch, like the Matt O'Reillys and all that. And James is still more than capable. But what he's got to do, he gets in the box the other day there, he hits the bar. So you want him to get in there and make sure that none of the back 3 of St Mirren are standing themselves. I think that's more important with Matt O'Reilly running, David Turnbull running. I think that's going to be massive. I think that's going to be massive for us, that we get bodies in the box. So anything that drops in there, we end up near a 5 against 5 in there. So anything that drops, you've got the finishers like a Kyogo, a Matt O'Reilly, a David Turnbull, James Forrest, Palmer. We're hoping we're going to have more bodies in the box, and that's what you're going to have to need tonight.
Peter Grant there in the Celtic gantry, about to be joined by Paul Cuddihy for live commentary. Before we hear from the manager, who's getting ready to speak to John Ledwith, some sad news coming out of one of our supporters clubs in Canada. We were sad to hear that Joe McGee from Port Moody, Canada, who's been a long-standing member of the club Vancouver CSC, has sadly passed away. Joe was originally from Paisley. He moved over to Canada over 30 years ago, but he still came back to Paisley for a few months once every year, but he sadly passed away this week. Sincere condolences to all of Joe's family and friends from everyone here at Celtic Football Club. All right, let's hear from Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers. He is in the tunnel with John Ledwith.
Brendan, we knew it was a demanding period of fixtures and you've had to make some changes to the side. Starting at the back, Cameron Carter-Vickers misses out tonight. I'm assuming that's a knock that he's perhaps taken?
No, it was really planned. He was obviously he's played consistently since he's come back, taking an opportunity to recover his knee, and he'll rejoin the training squad later in the week, hopefully, and be ready for the weekend.
Sure, the fans will be delighted to hear that. In the middle of the pitch, you had options. Paulo Bernardo has started on the weekend. David Turnbull gets the nod today. Just a reflection of rotation in that area?
Yeah, and also goal threat. David is a player that he always offers the threat on the goal. He's been out obviously for a few weeks, so it's a chance for him to come in and perform.
And in the forward area, a man we're used to seeing given his all for 100 minutes is Dyson Maeda, but he rests and drops down onto the bench again. Can I assume that he's done quite a lot recently?
Yeah, he's done a hell of a lot. So I think he can recover. He doesn't get too many rest days, but he's not a robot. You have to look after him at times, and like I said, especially when we have a squad that can come in and someone like James Forrest, who's a very experienced player and who has quality.
And St Mirren are a side who haven't had a better start in almost 90 years or so. This is going to be a really tough afternoon. They've only lost once, tough evening, sorry. They've only lost once already this season.
Yeah, I've had a fantastic start, very competitive and make it difficult for you. So we have to work very hard from the first whistle to get the result.
And I think the manager has made it clear that the tactic is going to be to try and frustrate, as they're going to have to be patience all round tonight to try and break them down.
Yeah, I think it's what you expect. You're playing at home, and you know you have to be patient. But the speed of the game is important for us. We know the areas that we want to get into, and from the first whistle to the last, we have to be relentless with that. You know, no matter what the scoreline is. So yeah, that's our idea. Impose the game, play with speed, and hopefully create opportunities to score goals.
Best of luck tonight, Brendan.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks. Good luck.
Harry Smith. Sutton fancies a bit of that. And Harry Davis. Delivers. And he's found a way in. And Celtic have got their equaliser. Looking for a quick turnaround here. Sinclair. Oh, it's another. They always seem to have an answer. Roberts. And Sinclair. Active Billy. Griffiths. And he does get in on the act.
I look back there at Brendan Rodgers' first meeting against St Mirren back in his first spell as Celtic manager. Right, £10,000, it's the biggest prize in matchday football here in Scotland. It could be yours if you take part in the virtual Paradise Windfall draw. Get yourself a ticket via the Celtic Pools app. Please visit begambleaware.org. All right, let's head back down to the tunnel now. Liam Scales is ready to speak to John Ledwith.
Liam, it's back to domestic action tonight. Firstly, I'd like to ask, how are you finding this schedule of games, because they are coming thick and fast?
Yeah, it's busy, it's tough, but it's also great. Like, you know, we're hardly training, we're just game to game, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's good.
And you can see how tough it is coming off a European match. It was a difficult tie in Edinburgh at the weekend. I'm assuming the squad in there are desperate to bounce back with 3 points tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Like we felt a little bit tired after the Champions League game, and we hope to get a win away, but look, we'll take the draw and then hopefully bounce back today and get 3 points at home definitely and get back on track.
And of course you'll understand the difficult task that lies ahead. It's been an impressive start by St Mirren this season.
Yeah, 100%. They've been outstanding. About, like, you know, they're up in third, I think, at the moment, and they're flying. So we know exactly like what they're going to bring here today, and we're prepared for it.
Wish you the best of luck, Liam.
Thank you.
Good luck to Liam and the boys tonight. Kick-off here, Celtic against St Mirren, not far away. We'll take the next few minutes to talk to Fran Alonso here about the Celtic FC women's team. Big game coming up, next home game that we'll tell you about shortly. But one thing that always strikes me about the women's game, Fran, is that the turnover of players seems to be a lot quicker. There's a lot more turnover around players, and a lot of the players that you have this season, a number who have been coming through with some good goals as well, have just joined the club. Am I right in saying that you're constantly having to recycle and refresh the team?
Yeah, that's correct. We are trying to move away from that. If you saw the last player that we announced, we renew for longer contracts. Because of that transition. We spent summer watching games and recruiting, but yeah. Despite this big transition in the women game, the salaries are nothing to do with the men game, so it's more difficult to get these longer commitments. But we are moving away from that, thankfully. But yeah, despite so many new players, the cohesion between players, it's been incredible since pre-season.
You need that team spirit to gel very quickly, so it's important that the players, the characters, that they all get on. And I think we can see that some of the new players this season, particularly the likes of Kit Lafersky here scoring. We'll see Amy Gallagher, who's become a real fan's favourite. Colette Kavanagh's popped up with some important goals. These are players who have just joined.
Yeah, to be fair, part of the credit, or most of the credit, should go to our senior players like Kelly Clark, Caitlin Hayes, Chloe Craig, who know the club in and out, who know what it means to play for Celtic, who know the society, what it means for the community. And those players, from day one, they understand what it means. The pressure they have, the responsibility they have to play good football, but also the professionalism and the values we demand on them. And that's why, so far this season, they've been incredible.
Yeah, this here, perhaps the biggest goal of the season, the winner against Glasgow City there from Colette Kavanagh. And a number of these players that we're seeing have also made the step up to international football, I'm right in saying?
Yeah, it's been fantastic for some of them. So Caitlin Hayes has just made her debut
for Ireland
3 games ago for Ireland, so that was last month. Shen Menglu has her debut for China. We got Jenny Smith, has her very first game, I think was yesterday, or before yesterday, the Scotland game. Amy Gallagher 2 weeks ago, last month.
Yeah.
So many players making their senior debuts, so that tell me that they are doing something very well. One thing I could say about the team is 90% of them, they are playing at the highest level they can play, and that's, again, I say, is credit to the whole squad, because when somebody is not doing what they have to do, they got teammates that actually raise their levels and push them. I don't need to do it myself.
If you haven't been along to a Celtic FC women's games, they play their home games at Airdrie's ground, the Excelsior Stadium, and they really are exciting games. Some of them are very high-scoring games as well, so you're sure to be entertained. The next one that you can go and see is a big one. It's a huge game against one of the major forces in women's football in Scotland, Glasgow City. That one is a Sky Sports Cup tie. It's on Friday, November the 10th. That one, a 6:45 p.m. kickoff. Tickets are on sale now, so if you can get yourself along to Airdrie for that one, then please do go along and support Fran and the girls. We're talking about James Forrest's pace earlier on. Fran, who's the fastest player in your team?
So right now it's Kit Lafersky. He's not only the fastest in the team, but she record over 30 kilometers per hour, which for women football is pretty impressive. So she's one of the fastest players in Europe.
Wow.
Not only the fastest at Celtic.
Yeah. Who were the quick players back in your team, Simon?
We didn't have the science to gauge it. So
you didn't know?
The naked eye, I would probably say somebody like Andy Tom was pretty rapid. Really quick, and there's a guy here tonight, George Cadet. He was very quick as well. Made it easy for you. Just if your pass was too far in front, he would always catch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to kick-off here. It's just a few seconds away. Celtic against St Mirren. If you've just joined us, you're watching Celtic TV's live coverage of this Premiership match. Celtic, of course, sitting 5 points clear at the top of the table, looking for another important win. The weather has kind of turned quite significantly in the west of Scotland, Simon. It didn't seem that long ago we were still basking in some sunshine, but
watching the highlights earlier on, all the sunshine, I'm missing it already. And today's been wild, but it seemed to have calmed down a little bit. And where it will be a positive for the players is the surface. It will give that extra zip that we talk about. It increases the pace of the game. and hopefully make it more difficult, you know, for the St Mirren players to defend.
A difficult 6 days ahead, Fran, for the players. Not just 3 games, but after tonight, they've got to make the trip to Dingwall for the game on Saturday. Then come straight back from that, get on a plane, fly to play Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. That really focuses the mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's why I think the manager has done the right decision and rotate the squad, because it takes a lot from the players, not only physically but mentally. But you know, thankfully we got a very big squad, and you know the players are, as the managers say, impressing at training and ready to make an impact. And I'm confident that we will get the business done today.
Ready to make an impact on the Celtic gantry as well. On commentary duties tonight, we've seen Peter Grant. He has been joined by your commentator, Paul Currahy.
The rain lashing down over Paradise. We're just awaiting the arrival of both sides. Appropriate, I think, on All Saints' Day that we are playing St Mirren, and you are in the company of Peter and Paul.
I'm glad you said that, no me.
Celtic looking for the 3 points, looking to get back to winning ways to at least maintain that 5-point lead at the top of the table. It is first versus third tonight. St Mirren, having started their season in impressive style. They've only lost 1 league game this season. That was a 3-0 home defeat against Rangers. John Beaton, the referee tonight. Callum McGregor, of course, the Celtic captain. Celtic in the green and white hoops. Mark O'Hara leads St Mirren out, all black this evening. Both sides have made 3 changes to the lineup from the weekend. For Celtic, who drew 0-0 against Hibernian at Easter Road, that sees Nat Phillips in the central defence alongside Liam Scales. Now, glad to see Alistair Johnson recover from that terrible blow to his face from the clearance, and he takes his place at right back. David Turnbull has a start in midfield, and James Forrest also starts up front alongside Kyogo and Luis Palma. St Mirren had a 4-0 victory at the weekend over St Johnstone, and as result they saw Stephen McLean lose his job with the Perth side. They bring in Caelan Boyd-Munce, Olsen Anwa and Ryan Strain all start this evening. And as I said, Stephen Robinson's side are in a decent vein of form, and they'll come into this game full of confidence. But of course they do play the champions with 8 wins and 2 draws from their 10 opening games. It is nice to be home after so many away games, and Celtic looking for the victory tonight. Callum McGregor will take his place in the huddle. Brendan Rodgers looking for his side to bounce back and get back to winning ways after that goalless draw. So Celtic with 3 changes. Callum McGregor in the huddle. The lights are dimmed. The luminous green light shines over the huddle. And so Celtic will shoot from left to right, shooting towards the Lisbon line stand in the first half. Okay, the last time the sides met here at Celtic Park, back towards the end of last season, it ended up in a 2-2 draw. But Celtic will be hoping to get the win this evening. It will be the visitors who get the game underway. They will just be waiting for the nod from John Beaton. They're looking to get off to a good early start.